Hey everyone, Trey Hunt here. Well, 2025 is a wrap, and I want to take a few minutes to step back and talk through what actually happened in the housing market this year. Not the headlines, not the hype, just the reality. And since you know I'm a numbers guy, I'll even throw in a few key stats into the conversation, but no charts or spreadsheets today, promise. So, the 2025 housing market might best be described as calm and stable. After several years of big changes and sharp swings, the market finally settled down. Home prices didn't crash and they didn't surge either. In most areas, the data shows appreciation of roughly 2 to 3%, depending on the specific market. Historically, around 4% average. So 2 to 3% is actually a very normal, healthy pace for the market. Interest rates were still a dominant influence in 2025. For most of the year, rates hovered in the mid to high 6% range, and we're finishing the year right around 6.2%. Higher than many buyers and many agents hoped for, but definitely a nice change from the over 7% rates that we saw not that long ago. The biggest difference this year wasn't the rate itself, it was the stability. Rates were far more predictable than the constant movement we saw in prior years, and that predictability mattered. Buyers are becoming more comfortable with the idea that rates are unlikely to return to the fours anytime in the near future. Instead of asking, should I wait? They're asking the better question, what payment works for my budget? And that shift in thinking is bringing people back into the market, not urgently, but definitely intentionally. The number of homes sold in 2025 was essentially flat compared to 2024, maybe slightly up or slightly down, depending on the particular price point and location that we're taking a look at. That tells us something important. People weren't rushing this year. Most buyers moved because life required it. They had a job change, the needs of their family changed. They were looking for a change in lifestyle. That mindset also showed up in how long homes took to sell. Here in Georgia, especially around Metro Atlanta, the story was largely in line with the national trends, but it was slightly stronger, which is pretty typical. Georgia's numbers often look a little bit better than the national average. Population growth and job expansion continue to support demand and pricing. Prices were flat to modestly up. And entry level and mid range homes continue to move faster than higher end properties. This was a market where pricing strategy mattered more than ever. Homes that came out overpriced tended to sit, with many sellers reducing their price multiple times or pulling the home off the market altogether. On the other hand, homes priced correctly from the start still got sold. Inventory did increase in 2025, which gave buyers more options. Many markets now sit at 4 months of supply or more. That's a big improvement from the extreme shortages we had just a few years ago, where we had less than a month of supply. That said, we're still not in a fully balanced market. Typically, we want to see about 6 months of supply to call that a balanced market. So we're still not in a fully balanced market, and particularly we're still very unbalanced in the more affordable price ranges and with move-in ready homes. With more options on the market, more choices for buyers to choose from, they became more selective. And that's one of the biggest takeaways of 2025. While the data didn't change dramatically, interest rate didn't move that much, home prices didn't change that much. The number of houses sold didn't change that much. But what we did see is that consumer behavior did change. Buyers became much more analytical. They took their time. Sometimes they'd visit a home 2 or 3 times before making an offer on a property. They negotiated more confidently, and they were willing to walk away if the numbers didn't make sense. Sellers, meanwhile, had to adjust their expectation. The market no longer rewarded optimistic pricing. It instead rewarded accurate pricing. So, what can we expect looking forward to 2026? Most forecasts suggest that we're on the same path. No dramatic changes, just incremental improvements as we move throughout the year. We're likely to see a gradual easing in interest rates. Most of 2026 will probably live in the low sixes, and maybe, just maybe, we'll finish the year in the high fives. Only a handful of forecasters and economists are expecting those high fives. That is the most optimistic thinking. Most everyone still thinks we'll end the year around 6%, though. Price growth is expected to remain in the low single digits, probably that same 2 to 4% range. Buyer confidence should continue improving, and we'll likely see a modest increase in the number of homes sold this year. Unless something major and unexpected happens, like another global pandemic, 2026 should look a lot like 2025, calm, steady, just with a little bit better numbers. As we head into 2026, the conversation continues to shift from should I wait to what makes sense for me. And that's exactly where a healthy housing market should be. This is the kind of market that rewards people who have a solid plan, know their numbers, understand their timeline, and they make decisions based on real life, not on headlines. So if buying or selling is even a possibility for you in the next year or so, the smartest move is to go ahead and start that conversation with your realtor. The right realtor isn't there to open doors, isn't there just to open doors and write contracts. They help you think through the big picture. They ask you questions you might not have thought to ask yet, and they have resources and solutions you might not even know about. They help you understand your options, your numbers, your timing. So when you do decide to move, you're confident and prepared. And if you already have an experienced realtor you trust, that's great. Lean on them and start that planning process now. And if you don't, Susan or I would be happy to be that resource for you and help you think through what a smart plan for you might look like. As always, I'll keep breaking this stuff down as the numbers evolve, just without the hype. Thanks for watching.